Hello, I'm Martine, the artist behind Martine's Fine Art. In this YouTube I am going to compare the Polychromos from Faber Castell with the Pablos from Caran d'Ache on drafting film. You have to realize drafting film is a kind of different child in the class of surfaces to draw on, and my conclusions do not apply to other surfaces. I'm convinced that the physics between surface and colored pencil is different in every combination of colored pencil and surface. The binders, the pigments, the oils or waxes and the tooth of the paper contribute to these physics. These can contribute to success or can limit you in all ways. I'm used to the Polychromos. They are made by Faber Castell. 120 really beautiful colors. Most of them light fast and these pencils are quite strong. They can be sharpened to a good point, won't break easy and are good for the sharp details. They are really nice for layering and blending. And because they are available and the best affordable quality artist pencils here, I always recommend them. They are oil-based, so wax bloom never happens. But I have to admit, they absolutely lack a few colors, so most of the times I pull out a few colors from my luminance box, most of the times the softer lighter tones and the two deep dark browns. But for these two drawings I forced myself to draw with just one brand. To get the best comparison, first I planned to make the same drawing twice, but I was afraid I would get bored the second time and the Pablos would lose just because of that. I searched for a photo reference in quite the same color range. The first one came from pmpart.com, the second is a photograph of Charlie, the cat of a friend, also an artist, aan een bougje. So let's move on to the first project. I started with the eye, a really pale light green. That was the first challenge, cause some of the greens of the Polychromos are too vivid, others too dark. So I had to put in a light cream layer first and then slowly build up the greenish colors. That's normally the moment I will look in my box of luminance for a lighter greenish color. Now I had to mix this base color, and because of the limited layering on drafting film, for more general information about drafting film check out my last video, this is a challenge. There won't be much more tooth to work on to get the shading and the details in the right place. So working light-handed is very, very important. Here I started with the area around the eye. In the reference this area was black, but when you just use black this will look uninteresting, pale and flat. So I always think of what kind of black I see. Is it a bluish, reddish, cool or warm black? And then I will layer other colors beneath the black. But that also is a little different than on hot press watercolor paper. When you've got about 20 layers to adjust your color, this will be much easier. Now you have to be careful not to saturate the film before completing it to the right color. In the next YouTube I will try to explain this further. Here you can see how I prepare a little of my favorite magical mixture. It's a mixture of titanium white powder with touch-up texture from brush and pencil. You have to shake the touch-up texture firmly till the sediment on the bottom is completely dissolved. You have to remember the mixture doesn't adhere to the film, but it will to the colored pencil. I use it to paint in lighter hairs on top of darker ones and for highlights, of course. When they aren't white, I can color over it. When it's dry, in some parts I needed a really dark brown. Luminance has two beautiful dark browns. I always use them, Castle Earth and Sepia. Now I had to mix the dark brown with blue and black to get the same result. For the background, I started with blues, greens, purple with a very light hand. Some pieces I blended a little with a small pen pastel applicator. I started with a very light hand, but in the end I could not get as dark as I wanted because the tooth was already completely saturated. For the lighter spots and stripes I used a Tombow mono eraser and mounting putty. Well, and so I worked on the fur with colored pencil and the mixture till it was finished. So I still think Polychromos work great on drafting film. The lack of some colors can be compensated by careful layering. Tomorrow I will upload part 2 of this video, the Pablos on the drafting film, so see you tomorrow. If you like this, please like and subscribe, and if you have questions, just post them below, of course. See you soon!